What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 129 of the potentially soon-to-be name change to Dudes of Sports News. As always, my name is Garrett here, my co-host.
What it do with the crew? This is Jalen Prince.
So I'm going to go ahead and apologize for us missing last week and for the state of my voice right now, if y'all can't hear it. We're treading to Ed Odron territory with my voice, but we're getting there. We're all right. I've been sick, so there's that.
I'm glad you're back.
But I'm good. I'm back. Haircut, beard trimmed. We're looking better. I won't say good, but we're looking better.
We're both in the same boat.
We're looking better.
We're both
and we
in
got a
the
lot to
same
talk
boat.
about today. But before we get too far into that, you guys know what to do. Check us out on Twitter, X, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is. If you really want to see us on YouTube, check on the lives. That's where we're recording right now. We check comments over on YouTube. We cannot see comments over on other forms of media. And I refuse to give Elon money, so we're not doing Twitter either. But that's just me. But we're live over on YouTube. Hop in the comment section. Check it out over there. We read these live if we see them, and we feel like it's a good question or good comment. We try to chime it in. Follow us on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, so you can see when we post, recaps on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And for those of you who missed last episode, we have a bit of a change of format here. So what we're doing now, 10-minute takes. That's it. We got 4 topics for 10 minutes. Jalen and I each get a 3-minute extension that we can do once per week. We haven't used it yet, but once per week, we get 3 minutes to extend it. And that's it. That'll keep us under an hour, keep us going, keep the train rolling, because if you guys know anything about him or me, we can get way off topic.
Way off topic.
So just keep us in line and also keep you guys interested. So our 4 topics tonight are the NFL Conference Championship recap, some Super Bowl thoughts, because we have a Super Bowl contender in the room with us right now. Is the Super Bowl contender in the room with us? Yes, they are. They're right there. We're going to talk about old Billy B getting snubbed, because that's what happened. And then we have a really, really, really difficult question that there is a right answer, and I think it's mine, and I am going to piss everyone off with it. And that's fine. But anyways, we're going to get right into it. Like I said, follow us on the social. Check it out over there. Rate, retweet, subscribe, all that fun nonsense. We're going to get right into it with a conference championship recap. Jalen, as a conference champion, take it away. Oh, where'd you go?
Sorry about that. I was trying to get me on the solo real quick. Hold on.
You good. Here, I'll tell you what. You solo down. I got you.
Last Sunday meant something to me. It meant everything to me. We knew what was the circumstance. And I was speechless. So I stayed emotionally contained throughout the entirety of the day, through the whole weekend. Anxiety levels was going back and forth. And for us to be able to get to Sunday, just to have that game, because we knew what was at stake, to be able to get back to the Super Bowl, to be able to achieve redemption. But more so than not, to complete one of the best runs to get to a Super Bowl. The week prior, we took down our arch nemesis of the San Francisco 49ers. And then later on, we took down, and then last weekend, we took down the LA Rams. And I said to a lot of people that would listen, that the LA Rams could be beat. Very much like Chicago had an opportunity to be able to take them down, but I knew that my team could do it because we proved it time and time again. But the common thing that I keep hearing about my team is Sam Darnold can't do it. Sam Darnold this, Sam Darnold that, and they know who they are. But how do you like over 300 yards passing, 3 TDs, no turnovers, and a QBR of around 90? You can't tell me nothing. Now, as much as I love my defense, I love the dark side. I believe in the dark side. Welcome to the dark side. The dark side did not have a good day. I got to give Matthew Stafford credit. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Same thing with Puka and Devontae Adams showed up. But this is why I always said that Seattle was a better team than the Rams, is because we got all 3 phases of the game. offense, defense, special team. My defense is better than the Rams. My special teams is better than the Rams. Big proved it. Offense, yes, you're going to choose the Rams. I get all that. But guess what? We got the best receiving football. Puka's number 2. JSN is number 1. And we'll go into details about that a little bit later on the show. But right now, the moment came. We came. We saw. We conquered. We did what we had to do to get the job done. We were not going to blow out this team. We knew that we was going to blow out this team. But we were going to find a way to win. And for Mike McDonald to come in his second year and take this franchise to the Super Bowl, to basically do exactly what John Schneider had him to do when he first hired, was to come in and neutralize Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Now he's done one part, the other part we're still going to figure out. There's still a whole lot building. But in your second season as a head coach, to get this team to the Super Bowl, and the fact that we have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl, to achieve redemption after what happened in Super Bowl 49, and to do it against that team in that stadium, you cannot write a better story or a better NFL season for an NFL franchise than what could potentially happen come in 2 weeks.
No, I think that's fair. And like I said, you guys played an incredible game. It's the Rams, I think, were the one team that could just they always find a way, man. They always do. Except for last weekend.
Yeah.
Normally they find a way, but except for last weekend. And they're like, again, to your point, like Stafford's going to do what Stafford's going to do. That's what an MVP candidate does. That's what they're going to do. Now, we had another MVP candidate. Didn't play as great. And it's, look, not a knock against Drake. Broncos defense is nothing to scoff at, and that weather was ridiculous. But I feel like this is safe to say the second we all knew Bo Nix wasn't going to play, that was it.
Yep, we knew.
That was it. We knew that was it. And everybody's like, oh, well, you cannot. Like, no, you can absolutely not, or like take Stidham out of the equation. And that's no disrespect towards Stidham, but to be perfectly candid and honest, there's a reason he was second string.
Yeah.
And next man up is a great mentality to have for almost every other position, but it's really, really hard for next man up at the quarterback position.
Let me ask you this. Do you put a lot of that game, if you're Denver and you're Bronco fans, do you put that game on Stidham or do you put it on Sean Payton? Because I felt like Denver's defense did what it was supposed to do. They gave the offense opportunities. Because let's be honest with you. There's been some conversations as far as like with the NFL when it comes to, blizzards, cold weather, snow games, because it brings it back a sense of nostalgia. But now this conversation as far as like it should be banned, and I'm like, how the heck you gonna ban that? You can't ban snow. You're nobody's God. That's number one. But the other point is the Broncos defense did what it needed to do. It held the Patriots to 10 points. If you're Sean Payton, and the fact that you don't have a Bo Nix, you got to change the way your play calling goes. And this is a Super Bowl champion coach. Now, I'm not a big fan of him, but I like you give us credit to what credit's due. I'm not going to use personal bias. I'm not going to use personal issues to get in the way and take away the credibility of what a coach has achieved. We'll get into that a little bit later on.
I'm kidding.
But
I'm not.
You're Sean Payton. I get being aggressive, but at the same time, dog, Bill Belichick might not be in New England anymore, but Mike Vrabel and that defense is like still just as good as far as like saying you cannot run the same play twice and expect to beat them, because on that fourth down play, I would have kicked the points, because I get nobody knew how bad the weather was going to get, and it got bad to a point that like there was nothing either offense could do. It was mainly about survive.
Right.
But that one play cost them that game. I mean, you could say a field goal, but like, look, if I'm Denver, I'm not mad at Will Lutz.
No, so I don't think you can
again,
be. Like,
I actually put more blame. I actually put more blame and more responsibility towards Sean Payton than I do Jarrett Stidham, because
100%.
I know what I'm getting out of Stidham.
100%, and you know this going into it. You know he's not going to play. And I don't know how true this is, but I saw something from a doctor or something from the NFL over on some form of social media today that was talking about how Bo had a pre-existing ankle condition. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when that it was going to break. I don't know if that's true. I was in the middle of something that I didn't completely verify whatever source that was, and that's on me. But if that is true, that's crazy that it happened in the final, like in right before conference championship. Like that's insane. But again, I think you're 100% right. Like as you can't put it on Stidham. You can put some of it across the board. Like, you can sprinkle everything around. Like you can put some of this on Stidham. You could put some of this on the weather. You could put some of this on the defense. But I think you're right. I think the vast majority of this falls on Sean Payton and not having that offense prepared and not having that scheme drawn up that benefits the pros of Jarrett Stidham and what he's good at and not taking advantage of that. So I definitely think a lot of that blame falls on him, but also, again, all credit to New England for finding the way to get it done. Now, again, to your point and what we see when it happens when they play tough defense, this is why with our next segment, which is Super Bowl thoughts,
Yep.
I completely think that you guys have this. I 100% think that you guys have this. I don't see why you wouldn't. Because New England hasn't really faced a defense like you guys. And we see what happens when they do. They struggle. And it's hard to say, but I feel like if Stidham wasn't playing and Bo Nix was playing, I think that Denver might have beaten New England. And I think that it would be you guys versus Denver in the Super Bowl. But that might be just me. I don't know.
Here's my thoughts as far as going into this matchup. And look, like I said, we're gonna give our predictions next episode next week. My thoughts are I'm not sleeping on New England because just as much as I said that my team finds ways to win, you're definitely going to make the same case with the New England Patriots. Mike Vrabel's a coach of the year candidate for a reason. Drake May, as I like to call him, Darake Maye, is an MVP candidate for a reason. They can run the ball when they get things going. Stephon Diggs is like playing really good football. Keyshawn Boutte is playing good football.
He's having a career year.
Rasul Douglas is having a good year. Hunter Henry has been one of the most reliable veteran tight ends in football. So their offense is really good. But as much as I gloss over the journey it took for my team to be able to get to the Super Bowl, I also got to look at theirs. New England has not faced really good offenses in this playoffs, but I give a lot of credit to their defense because they play they're a tremendous unit. Gonzo has been playing really good in the defense back position. Number 25, I forgot his name and it's escaping me right now. He's been playing really good. So like the Patriots are a really, really good football team. They won a conference for a reason. And so going into this matchup, I think it's going to be another dogfight. I think it's going to be another battle. I do believe we're a better team because I don't see New England being able to run the ball on us simply because what the Rams are able to scheme against this defense is one thing because of McVay. Now, I give a ton of credit to Josh McCown, and we all know he's a better OC than he is a head coach. But I trust my coach, and I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball against us. And I give Ramondre a lot of credit. He's a tremendous back. Same thing with Travion Henderson. But like I said, I don't see them being able to run the ball on us. They got to be a throwing. And like May is capable of doing it, but I don't believe the secondary is going to have another bad week that it had going against Puka and Devontae. So again, those are my early thoughts. It's just I know we're the better team. I believe that we're a better team, but this is not a team that you could just look over because they're well coached, they're a well earned football team, and they live up to their moniker. They're warriors. They're gonna fight. They're gonna give everything that they got. They're not gonna go down.
Oh, it's not a cakewalk. It won't be a cakewalk at all. Like that's not up for debate. There's a reason New England's here. They're a good team. It's not a shot at them whatsoever. But I think that the more complete team and the more battle-tested team in this Super Bowl is you guys.
What's your
Played
feeling? What's your feeling on the whole? They haven't really played nobody. They got a weak schedule thing.
It's hard to hold that against somebody. Well, it's not hard to hold against somebody. That's not their fault. But at that point, you look at how bad did they beat some of those easy teams, and they beat them pretty bad. Like, there's a reason why I didn't think the Bills would make it very far in the playoffs, and that's because they struggled with the Browns. There's two things I look at, and it's how badly do you beat bad teams? Like, do you blow them out of the water, or do you win by a possession? Like, what happened? And then I also want to look at how well you played in, like, you know, if it is a close game, again, like against tough opponents as well, like how close was the game? Like, what happened? Like, obviously, you want to look at how many points you dropped on a bad team, but also if you only beat a good team by 3, there's nothing wrong with that because all you need is one more point to win. Game could be 2-3. That's a game. Like, doesn't matter to me. As long as you come out with a W, that's what's important. But I think, like, yes, it is something you have to take in consideration, but you can't exactly blame them for it. So at that point, when it comes to like the playoffs and when it comes to things like that, I'm looking for teams that are more battle tested, that have done more things like this, that have been in the situation before. Maybe not necessarily as this team or as this, you know, coach or this, you know, front office, but I want to look at teams who have played tough schedules, played tougher opponents, and come out on top by a lot or a little.
My thing is again, you got to play who you got to play, and the Patriots have done that. They take care of their business. It's not their fault that their division is weak outside of Buffalo. And that's
you want to talk about a drop off?
Yeah,
you want to talk
that's
about a drop
mess in of itself. But you're New England. Dog, I look at it like this. I'm not a Patriots hater. I never was, even back when in the dominant times of Belichick and Brady. But like, if you're a Patriots hater, or if you're one of them people that just were so sick and tired of the Patriots always getting to the Super Bowl and always winning, like I think about all the people that were tired of Kansas City, and like,
I think all the people who would
like this is what this means to me, and this is what this means to me, and like I want to get it back to just on you and me. When I think about this Super Bowl and just like this playoffs in general, what it tells me is not only is Seattle back and the NFC West is a 3-headed monster again. What it told me is, dog, there's another reason why Sean McDermott got fired. And there's another reason why, like, Josh Allen deserves a lot of criticism. The Patriots are back.
Yeah.
Like, let that sink in. They got their quarterback, they got their coach, and they got the GM. All they got to do is just, like, apply more talent. And, again, the AFC East belongs in New England again. Like, let that sink in. To go from Brady and then those bad years with Belichick to letting Belichick go, and now you're back at the helm in the Super Bowl with the Mike Vrabel, who got a lot of years in him, who with Drake May in the company, and Josh McCown, he's not going nowhere. Nobody wants him as a head coach. Like, the Patriots are back. Like, let that sink in. And if you're a hater of them, I know you feel sick, but because they ain't going nowhere, and I ain't got no problem with them. Like, that's what this Super Bowl kind of tells me. That's what this whole playoff in NFL season has told me. The Patriots are back. Seattle's back too, but the Patriots are back.
Oh, I'm trying to find it. Hold on. There was a picture of something. I'm trying to find it. It's that the Patriots playoff drought. The Patriots playoff drought was like that. The little roller coaster in SpongeBob. You remember the mitten?
Yep.
It's just a little tiny hump for a couple of years, and then it's back to normal again. That's what happened. And that's a good front office. That's a good coaching staff, and that's just nailing your draft picks of free agency. And it's a good culture, and you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. I look at this. How do I put this? I look at the Patriots going to the Super Bowl all those times. As I look at, like, how many years was it Warriors Cavs in the finals?
About 4 or 5, I think.
And it was so annoying. But it was also the surest bet in sports at that time. It's like, okay, who's going to the NBA Finals?
And that's what kind of made like the NBA stale at times. Now, other people enjoyed it if you're
Mhm.
like, Warriors or a LeBron fan and stuff like that, but that's what kind of made it stale.
This
But
is
I
why
would
go ahead.
go ahead.
I'm saying this is why I like postseasons like this, where
Yep.
you don't have a clear, true, like, no, they're sweeping everybody. This is happening.
Yeah,
Like, you
something
don't
new
have
was
a
going
Mahomes.
something new. Everybody thought they was gonna get something new. No, you about to get like you about to get something that's basically consistent. Dog, most folks that watch sports like this, they want like the next person, they want new, they want somebody else to be able to get their turn. And I'm like, dog, that's not life.
No,
At
you got to keep it
like some
fresh.
points, like we gotta keep it a buck. There's just certain folks that's probably never gonna get there within your
Oh,
lifetime.
100%.
Like
100%.
it's just how it is. I'm very fortunate. My team is not one of those people, but you look at the likes of Cleveland, Dallas,
Titans, bums.
Titans. Well,
Bums.
yeah, Titans. You look at guys like that, franchises like that are just mediocre and they don't make the right decisions. Like it just is what it is. They're there because it's their fault. Like
Mhm.
nobody's.
We're going to talk about Cleveland next week because
I mean,
they're
that's.
wild.
I mean, Jesus. Like it just is what it is. And the Patriots, they got a great culture. They have a tremendous front office. They have a great owner.
Mhm.
Seattle, great owner, great front office, great GM. Now you got the coaching again. So wins are gonna follow. If you don't
Yeah.
have those things, and if you don't do what's right as far as within the league, you're not gonna be able to achieve the things that you want to achieve. And a lot of people got to realize that. Shoot, New York is a mess. Dallas been a circus for years.
Mhm.
You
So
mentioned the
here's my
Titans.
question. Here's my question before we move on.
Yeah.
Because we got to keep moving. Question before we move on. Do you give Marshawn Lynch a one-day contract to correct what was wrong?
Okay,
and
me
run the ball
personally,
in the
yeah,
one?
I would. Me personally, yes, I would. But dog, K9 is
Oh
balling.
yeah. No,
K9
no
is
disrespect
balling,
towards
dog.
Kenneth Walker. No disrespect towards
But I
Kenneth Walker.
think, dog, what this would mean is just pure redemption from everything that happened back in 49. And somebody asked me, will this make up for what happened in 49? Yes, it would.
If you win, yes.
Because I
If
didn't
you
think I
don't,
was
no.
going to be back.
Yeah. If you win, yes. If you don't, no. But let's talk about getting
without
snubbed.
question. But like, if we're able to win this, we've achieved redemption. And like, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be happy. Not only we're champions, we got the Super Bowl against that helmet, against that team, against that franchise. And yes,
Did you get
this
back?
will make up for it. Yes.
That we'll consider that a 3-minute continuation on that one, just because we pretty much hit that point anyways. But you guys snubbed Marshawn. I think you give Marshawn a 1 day just to get the ring, just for the city.
I'm fine with that. Shoot, you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing with Bobby, Doug. You say whoever, but I think those guys have already reached a lot of peace. So
no Sherm.
No, I'm fine with Sherm.
No Sherm. Keep Sherm away.
No. I'm fine with Sherm. Here's the reason why. Niners want to claim him, yet though they never won with him. We get we claim Sherm. Guess what? We get to win. Like he would be part of a team that will win a Super Bowl in the same stadium as the 49ers.
I'll give it to you. Well, let's talk about snubs. Let's talk about snubs because a Hall of Fame level snub has happened over the last couple of days. They did Hall of Fame votes. Eli didn't make it, which is, whatever, which I think is the only piece that Bill has in this, even though I don't care. It's fine. Whatever. It's not a big deal. It's fine. But apparently there are at least 10 people who didn't vote for Belichick to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, my favorite thing was watching all of the Hall of Fame voters come out and say, I don't know who didn't, but it wasn't me. That I love. That was hilarious because it turned into a witch hunt. It's like, okay, here are the 60 who didn't vote.
But how do we know that? How do we know that they didn't do it?
Exactly. That's the thing. is they saw the outrage, and I guarantee you there are people in that room who were like, I absolutely didn't vote for him, but I'm not going to go out and admit it. Here's my thing with Belichick. Yes, you can make the argument that Brady made Belichick, because when Brady left, Belichick didn't win. Yes, you can make that argument. Yes, you can make the argument for what's happening right now at UNC. However, I don't think it's fair to penalize a coach for the players they had. Do you agree with me or disagree with me on that? Because, like, if we look at, like, that's like punishing Andy Reid for winning with Mahomes.
No.
You can't do that.
Can't.
Like, let's look up Hall of Fame coaches while I'm doing this. Just because I'm curious.
Dog,
I want to see some of these. George Halas, Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Tony Dungy, Bill. Like, you can't knock Dungy because he had Peyton Manning.
No, you can't.
Like,
that's
what
dumb.
Are we doing? What are we doing? This is so stupid. To quote whatever NFL executive was this is crazy. But what do you think? Because I've had my little 2-minute tangent. What do you got on this?
This is stupid. This shouldn't have been a thing. This shouldn't have been a debate. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. You can't have a Hall of Fame without Bill Belichick.
No.
Just simply put, I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan. Like, the part that's frustrating is because I'm in the sport. I'm in the sports media business. Now I'm in the lower tier. I'm not, yo, Jalen, we need you to vote for this. I'm not that.
I mean,
I'm not
still
that.
there.
And the heck, even the Hall of Fame came out with some silly release.
We'll read to it. We'll read about it later.
Yeah, we'll read about it. We'll continue this next week.
I got it,
dog.
Well, I got the release. We're reading the release tonight.
Okay, but dog, this is so stupid. I mean, you got guys of people who got personal vendettas against Bill Belichick. He wouldn't answer your question, didn't treat me right. The Hall of Fame is not supposed to be about that, dog. The NFL Hall of Fame is supposed to be sacred. It's supposed to be credible. It's supposed to be the last defense as far as trying to defend anybody trying to question the greatness. It's supposed to be a celebration of greatness. Now, we've had years of conversation about, Deion Sanders talking about Hall of Fame and Hall of Game. Now, it might be time to be able to have that conversation and make something solidify for it. But that's a discussion for another day. But the Hall of Fame is supposed to be sacred. It's supposed to be valued. It's supposed to be valuable. And for this to happen, now it's not credible anymore. It's not valid anymore. And and these people have possibly destroyed something all because you didn't like a guy. And I get that you didn't like Bill Belichick, the person, but you cannot take away what he's done for the NFL and the sport of football. You can't. Yes, Spygate, Deflategate, all the other crap. Yeah, he might have cheated, but you can't take the wins away. You can't take the history. You can't take the fact that he's the best defensive mind to ever walk and to ever come through the NFL of all of football. You can't deny the fact that this man shut down the greatest show on turf. You can't deny the fact that when Brady came back from 28-3, somebody had to be able to get Matt Ryan in that offense to get stops.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny the fact that when he went up against Jared Goff and Sean McVay in the Atlanta Super Bowl, somebody had to be able to get them stops. Somebody had to be able to have the game plan. You cannot deny that. And because you did that, making Bill Belichick wait, I'm like, dog, who the heck are you?
This to me is reaching MLB levels of pettiness when it comes to the Hall of Fame.
Do it. He's a no-brainer. That shouldn't have been a discussion.
Anybody who tells you the Baseball Hall of Fame is not petty, I will respectfully disagree wholeheartedly. Case in point, where to my understanding, I might be wrong, but Pete Rose is not in the Hall currently. Barry Bonds is
not in there.
You've gotten, yes, Barry Bonds used steroids, but there's plenty of other people who use steroids who are not in, or who are in the Hall.
If he used steroids, then why'd you pitch to him?
To me, my biggest concern, and my we're reaching, I'll use Pete Rose as the best example. Oh, well, he cheated when he was a manager. Great, put him in as a player. He did both. And like, what are we doing? We're reaching levels of pettiness that, to your point, are taking what is supposed to be a sacred, untouchable entity and making it, and making it flawed. Now, I've got a release from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's dated today. Statement on the media reports related to the Hall of Fame class of 2026. Canton, Ohio. This is per Adam Schefter and obviously the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you're looking at this on the screen, this is why you watch on YouTube. If you're listening back on later, I'll read it to you. Canton, Ohio. The Pro Football Hall of Fame understands and respects the passionate reaction of many fans, media members, and enshrines of the hall itself in light of published reports. Enshrinees of the hall itself in light of published reports regarding the voting results of the class of 2026. So I got to dust off my announcer skills. It's that very passion that propels the game. The hall also respects the members of the selection committee when they follow the selection process bylaws. It is an honor to serve as a selector. Each year, the hall reviews the selection process and the composition of the 50-person selection committee. Sorry, not 60, it's 50. My fault. If it is determined that any members violated the selection process bylaws, they understand action will be taken. That could include the possibility that such selectors would not remain a member of the committee moving forward. The selection of a new class is the most important duty the Hall of Fame oversees each year, and the integrity of that process cannot be in question. So here's my question, Jalen, when it comes to that, is what bylaws are they addressing? Because to me, this goes one of two ways. They're either saying that this man was snubbed on purpose and they did it to prove a point, or them talking about it to this degree and saying who they voted for is in violation of the bylaws and that it could be removed. I don't know what these bylaws are, and I'd have to look into it and see if it's something that is like open. I'll look at NFL Hall of Fame bylaws. What do you think? What do you think this statement means?
They might do something, they might not. I don't think, unless the Hall of Fame's about to come out and retract the statement or to retract the voters' decision of Bill Belichick not being in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter what the Hall of Fame says. Like, I was watching First Take. I was watching a lot of the shows, and Stephen A. Smith said like we should boycott the Hall of Fame.
No.
Dog, you might have a point, but dog, it got serious. I was watching the Pat McAfee show. Jimmy Johnson, he even said like I was gonna take a private, when it was time, I was gonna take a private plane to Canton, Ohio. Dog, he ain't going to the Hall of Fame again.
No,
He already said that.
To me,
it's like it's supposed to be about the greatness of football, not who was the nicest person to the media.
Yeah. Well, hey, I have
it's getting to a point where a lot
of in front of me.
But dog, it's getting to a point where society, even sports and society, we don't even know what the term professionalism mean anymore.
What
like keeping personal feelings out of it, all because certain folks reach a certain level of greatness that most anybody will never even achieve, and then they might have a sick attitude, but you can't you can't let your personal feelings or moral or quote unquote moral ideals affect what the other person accomplished because they don't fit the moral compass.
Do you know what I think would be hilarious? And we got to move on after this because I'm going to use my 3-minute extension for the hard question for the most part. Do you think that the people who voted no for Bill, because it was 10, were division rivals and teams he beat in the Super Bowl? Is that
I can see some of that, but here's another thing. I think I can see that, but I can also see maybe somebody who got a strong relationship with Robert Kraft.
Maybe. I don't know. But there's plenty of people who he beat who are in the selection committee. Every team has a member for the selection committee. So it's an interesting thing to think about.
Well, let me ask you this. How much you want to bet that those some of those 32 owners know who's on that selection?
Oh, they know. They know. They 100% know. The selection committee is public. I just Googled it.
You want to talk about pettiness? You want to talk about pettiness? Oh, think about all the teams. Think about all those teams those 31 owners lost to against Bill Belichick,
That's a fair
and
point.
maybe even Robert Kraft.
It's a fair point. But let's move on because we have a hard question, a very hard question.
Yep.
DraftKings put something up on Facebook saying one has to go. Who are you getting rid of? And there's 4 wide receivers, and it's Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I know who I'm getting rid of, and it's going to upset a lot of people.
I think either decision that we make is going to set a lot of people.
So here's the metric I put on myself. And Jalen, you're happy to use this if you'd like, but here's the metric I'm putting on myself.
All right.
Because JSN and Puka have only been in the league for 3 years, I am only looking at the last 3 years. I'm not looking at the first part of Justin Jefferson's stats. I'm not looking at the first part of Jamar Chase's stats.
What have you done for me lately?
Yes, I am just looking at 23, 24, and 25.
Well, if you're using that metric, then I think we might be in the same boat.
Who do you think? Because do you want me to go or you want to go?
I'll go.
Who you got?
I'm gonna need the screen. For me, the answer is Justin Jefferson.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going. Here's the reason why. When he first came into the league, Kirk Cousins was his quarterback, and he was balling, and he was on a run that nobody had the beginning of his career. Nobody was starting the year that he was having. Like, he was on some different type of stuff. Nobody could cover him, and he was making plays. Heck, I never forget the catch that he had against Buffalo a few years back. He played like the best receiver in football, and at one point he was. But after Sam Darnold left, and I get it, it was just a year prior. The reason why I'm thinking forward. I'm thinking longer term because these are young guys.
These are.
So my metric is like, who are the best and who are you cutting right now and going forward with? I'm cutting Justin Jefferson because Minnesota's not going to let him go, and I don't think J.J. McCarthy is the guy. And he might be the first quarterback that Jettas can't work with. Chase is gonna have Joe Burrow for a long time. Puka's got Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, and whatever quarterback that steps into Sean McVay's scheme, Puka's still gonna thrive in it because he's gonna be used for everything. Run game, jet sweeps, quick screens, and then one-on-ones. And then JSN, come on now. We saw the year that he had, and he's gonna have Sam Darnold for a long time, and you can't cover him. He's gonna catch everything. I seen what JSN got. Bro, I look at Jamar Chase. There's nothing on the field he can't do. I look at Jettas. Same thing. All 4 of these guys are immensely talented, and there's nothing on the field that they can't do. But if I had to cut one based off of circumstance, I gotta let go. I gotta cut Justin Jefferson. And I don't think it's because of him, it's because of the situation.
So here's where I'm at. When I look at this, what I'm doing is I am looking at the last 3 years of production, and I'm looking at this as I have all 4 of these guys on my team, not their prospective teams. I have all 4 of these guys on one team. I can keep 3. If we look at JSN, yes, first year was down. It is what it is, but I don't remember who he had, and you could tell me more than that at quarterback.
Oh, I can easily tell you that. I ain't got to tell you quarterback. I'm going to tell you quarterback and coach. His first year, it was Geno. Coordinator, Shane Waldron.
And there you go.
Last year, Geno. Coordinator, Ryan Grubb.
And Grubb's gone, but now you get who you have now. But so look at this. 17 games played. Only, so 1,100 yards, almost 1,800 yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. That's where we're at. One down year with under 1,000 is what it is. He's always averaged 10 yards or more per reception, which is great. That's JSN. Here's Jamar Chase. 100 receptions, 127 receptions, 125 receptions, 1,200 yards, 1,700 yards, 1,400 yards.
And he had that triple crown.
7 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns. Solid production. Always averages over 11 yards per reception. So you have that. Here's Jetta's 2023, 2024, 2025. Only played 10 games in 2023. But he still had 68 receptions, still had 1,000 yards, still averaged over 12.5 yards per reception, which is his lowest average he's ever had. And it's with the absolute carousel madness they have a quarterback right now in Minnesota. 5 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. That touchdown is a blemish thing for sure this year. Here you have Puka. 1,400 yards, 990 yards. So we'll round up to it. I'll give him 1,000. I'll round up those 10 yards. That's a catch or whatever. It's fine. But then you have 1,700 yards. 12.5, 13, 14 for average per yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns. Here's my thing. I might be getting rid of Puka. I really might. And it's not it's not that I don't respect Puka's game. Puka is part of the reason why I have a fantasy football championship trophy, for sure. But if I have all 3 of these guys on one team, I am taking Jamar over Puka. I am taking Justin Jefferson over Puka. And I am taking JSN over Puka. And that's not a shot at Puka Nacua. But I think of these 4, Puka is the choice. But that might just be me. That might just be me.
Look, here's the thing. It's a tough choice because cutting either one of them is going to be tough. Now, I get why folks might cut JSN because he's only done it for one. He's only had a season like this for one season, and right. Jetta's had the years that he had. Same thing with Jamar. But again, I'm looking at it from going forward. I'm looking at it from a situational type of thing. Like you have to, and I look at the situations. Jamar is going to get his because he got Joe and he got Zach Taylor. Jetta's is going to try to get his because he still got Kevin O'Connell, but the quarterback situation is so daggum bad right now.
You don't believe in 9? You don't believe in 9?
Dog, I never believed in him when he was in Michigan, even though he beat Alabama. I never believed in him.
Me neither.
I look at dog in the Rams. Look, Puka's going to be the number 1 for a long time with Sean McVay and whoever's at quarterback, whether it's going to be Stafford, Stetson Bennett, or whoever the heck they got. It's going to go to Puka, and
that's
Puka,
what concerns me.
And the thing with Puka is he got strong hands. You throw it up to him, there's a good chance he's going to be able to bring it down. His route running ain't great, but his catch radius is massive. Not to mention his run after catch. He got a really good run after catch. And then JSN, there's nothing on that field he can't do. And because of Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold, you're putting them everywhere. So you can't cover him because of 1, his ability, and 2, his versatility.
But that's my question with Puka. Because we've seen Jetta's produce with mid-tier quarterbacks. We've seen JSN produce with mid-tier quarterbacks. And we've seen Jamar Chase produce with retirees. Puka's only had Stafford. Stafford will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Who's helping who more is my question. So Rams fans are going to come for my throat. I don't care. To me, it's not me trying to be disrespectful towards Puka. I am just looking at productivity. I'm looking at, and again, there's no right answer for this. The only right answer is Jamar and JSN. That's the right answer. Those 2 for sure, because you haven't been able to cover JSN this year. But the question is between, again, Jetta's and Puka. And for me, it's Puka. For you, it's Jetta's. But that's where we're at. Again, I'd be happy to have any of those receivers on my team. Anybody who you had him on your team, you're like, yeah, 1,000%. I'd take any one of these guys on my team. No questions asked. But the question is, I have to cut one.
Yeah.
And to me, it's Puka. And for you, Justin Jefferson. That's it, man. Do you have anything else you want to get into?
Nah, bro. Like,
all right, man.
I'm grateful for my team. I'm grateful to be back in the Super Bowl. I never thought I'd get here. I never thought we would be back, let alone like boy.
I'm getting dragged for this opinion.
Oh,
I'm getting dragged for this opinion.
I don't care.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna get dragged for
It's gonna
mine.
be funny. It's gonna be funny. But I feel like we can all come to agreement that Jamar Chase is for sure the consensus. No, always Jamar Chase. You could produce with 45-year-old Joe Flacco. You could produce with anybody. But anyways, that's it. If you guys like the show, let us know. You know what to do. Rate 5 stars wherever podcast platform you listen to. Rate 5 stars, comment, review, whatever it is. Retweet, post, all that fun stuff. Follow us over on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at TDSN Pod, over on TikTok at TDSN Pod, on YouTube, same thing. We live stream all the podcast episodes on YouTube, so if you guys want to comment and chime in while we do it, go for it. This would have been a fun one for people to chime in at. But, excuse me, still kind of sick a little bit. If you like the show, that's what you do. If you don't like the show, treat it like a bad date. We appreciate the 45 minutes, 50 minutes that you got. We can't give it back to you. But there's no reason to be negative. You go your way, we'll go ours. That's just it. But if you do like the show, if you retweet the show, if you share all that fun stuff, you get a shout out at the end of the show. Shout outs also go to people who shows that we think you'll like if you like ours. So shout outs as always, Jim, a fan of the van. Go check out the show. Him and I do called Steel and Teal. Brent over at 1420 Sports. Aaron of Brutally Honest. Darian over at Chill Takes. He's been hopping around some Jaguars podcast stuff. Go check him out. Go check out IAP Radio. E-Man at Average Sports. Him and Jim do a show called Cigar and Sports. Go check that out as well. If you're looking for a wrestling anything, go check out John over Wrestling Fan Insight. Always go check out Sports After Dark. We didn't get to talk about it last time. We had the return of Niner Mike earlier on the postseason.
Yep, did see that.
Shout out Niner Mike. Always go hop in the spaces with Sports After Dark. It's always a good time. If you're looking to gamble, please gamble responsibly. Don't bet the house. Don't bet the rent. Rent's due soon, by the way. Listen to Nate's Day of the Wager. And if you are an NFL player, please make sure you're listening and gambling responsibly outside of any NFL facility. Thank you. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Peace.